Okay, so you're in Pocheon and let's go explore the city.
Yeah, alright guys, so we're here in Pocheon. We got here a little late because so much traffic on the weekends. They say that this is, if I'm not mistaken, the translation, one of the most visited tourist attractions with over 2 million visitors per year. And wow, I just learned a lot of interesting things about this area, but
party. For here. Holiday party.
party. Party?
Party.
Oh.
Halloween party.
Oh, there's gonna be Halloween party there. They're setting up. Okay. All right. And just look at how beautiful this landscape is. Oh my God. This isn't peak either. The autumn is gonna get even better. But let's ask the girls. What do you think, Lear Mada?
I'm really impressed with the trees. I think actually the other side also look like so reddish and everything. So nice.
It hasn't peaked though. You can see there's still a lot of greens.
Yeah.
But you can see little glimpses. There's already a lot of red. This sort of reminds me of, is it Arcadia or Acacia National Park in America? But it just has a little Korean vibe to it. You know, they don't have these little boats that you go around in. As a matter of fact, over that mountain, which you could climb in about an hour and a half, they say, there's gonna be a huge field of silver grass. And the silver grass is really beautiful here in Korea. It reflects the light. It's really amazing. One of the top 5 sites of Korea. Unfortunately, we don't have the time for that. But wouldn't you like to go to the silver grass, Hope?
Yeah.
Yes.
When he said it was there, I thought he was saying it because we were going to go.
I know, it's such a tease, right? I see that they have a lot of sculptures here. But it's really interesting to hear like all the plans that they have for this place. In less than 2 years, they should have a cable car that is gonna be constructed that will take you to the top of that mountain so you can see that silver grass. And there's just a lot of money being poured into tourism here. I don't know if you can see this, but on the very other end of this lake, there's that long deck road. So it literally walks you over the river. Let's see if we can go there. It's 12:36. Where's Leah? Oh, they're taking pictures. Oh, pavilion for Sejong Lake. Anyways, interesting fact about this area too is that back in the days, this was actually North Korea.
Wow.
So
And I'm owning here.
yeah, you own it now, Tilosh. Uzbekistan has overtaken it now.
Okay, look to yours and look.
And this lake actually resembles the shape of South Korea. So the founder of North Korea, Kim Il-sung, he actually planned the invasion of South Korea here, overlooking this lake. And we all know the story. He invaded it, and South Korea took it. So it's sort of ironic, sucks, but whatever. I'm happy we have it because it's so beautiful. Let's see, there's a lot of sculptures here. We don't have a lot of time, so I understand they gotta take pictures, but I'm more interested in exploring. Look at this. This flower is I think it's sort of past season now, but it seems like every season's a good season to come here. I'm sure when you come here during the summer, It's gonna be sunny, warm, bright, airy. Oh, it smells so good. And then when you come here in the fall, you see the foliage. In the spring, there's gonna be flowers. And even in the winter, it should be really amazing. Speaking of which, they say that over there, that installation there is a water fountain. It's gonna light up with LEDs, shoot up water 70 meters high. Sort of like Bellagio for you Americans out there. You can relate to that. And oh, okay, so here's all these restaurants. This is where we ate at. I will throw that at the end of the video. Really delicious food. They gave us so much that I couldn't finish it. I sort of felt bad because we ate todok, which is like a root. It's in the same family as ginseng, and we had a huge plate full of it, and we could only eat half of it. And I felt bad because that's good food we're wasting. But they're very generous with the portions out here. These roots like todok and the mountain herbs, that's where those kinds of foods are more prevalent out here in the mountainside because they have to be grown naturally. It's not farmed, and that's also why Koreans believe it's healthier for you. Wow. So, I'm just impressed with just how they will develop the most remote area into a tourist attraction here in Korea. Let me know what you think. Yeah. This is such a Korean ambiance. People just chilling outside, drinking rice wine, amongst nature. I actually hope they don't change these restaurants. They have like a sort of retro ghetto feel and vibe, but lately they've been just gentrifying all of this, which I guess it definitely appeals to the Koreans, the locals. They like things a bit more gentrified, but I personally really enjoy seeing things the way they are. And I guess this is why I like doing these walking tour videos, because I'm almost certain when I look back at this in another 5 years, I'll be able to reminisce and go, oh, look at all this. They don't have this anymore. Wow, okay. Not very natural, but I'm a guy. Sorry, forgive me. I like to observe what games are being played. They got Mario Kart racing, that's all good. They got Tekken. Ooh, I see like a little fair. I didn't realize that they had that. Let's see what happens over there at the fair. So because they have that LED light and the water fountain, this is actually a place that's very popular to visit in the evening as well. Because as you all know, the party starts after 10 in Korea. My gosh. The operator is like obnoxiously like announcing Uracha. Oh, hold on. Hello. You know this Viking, this fair? I'm at the fair. Maybe, yeah. Whoa! Is this sort of freaky? What if this boat breaks? It will land on me. Yeah, this has like a good old school vibe. But even in America, we all know these are the rides you're not supposed to go on. The most accidents happen, but hey, how wrong could this go? Seems very basic. Oh, look at this. They got the dalgona. You know, but you can't really pop out the shapes if they do it like this. I understand it's cuter, but it's not Squid Games. Oh my gosh. They have silkworms. I actually, in the beginning, I thought this was very disgusting, but now I'm sort of liking it. Alright. Let's see. Leah just called me. I guess they want to meet up again, but they probably got sidetracked taking selfies somewhere that they thought was good. Oh. Aw, how cute. They got like a blackboard for you to doodle on. And here's the Halloween festival. Aww. Hey! What are you doing? Oh, there's drawing? Oh! Alright. Oh, we could do 오징어 game? Oh. Amy, why did they call it 달고나? Is it like 달구나? Like 달아? Like it's sweet?
I think I'm not 100% sure.
Oh.
So each area we call a different name.
Yeah, I
Some
thought it was
area is
뽑기.
뽑기.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I thought. 뽑기, right?
Yes, 뽑기. But 달고나, I don't know. Some certain time we say the 달고나.
Oh.
달다 is the.
Yeah, 달 means sweet. So if you say 달구나, it's like, oh, 달구나.
Yes.
Maybe it's 사투리, like
Yes.
달고나. Oh, it's sweet. Like, so 달다 means it's sweet. It's a statement. 달다. But it's a 달구나. It's like what's the correct term? Oh, it is sweet. You know. But I also knew this by the name 뽑기, which means 뽑기 means you're picking.
Yes.
So you're picking out the shape. So that's what I knew it as. I thought I was weird, but everyone's like, "What is 뽑기?" And I'm like, "Ah." All right, little lambs. Oh my gosh! I thought I was dumb, but look, Beethoven, guys, Beethoven. It's the Saint Bernard. 안녕. 안녕. Oh, it's so big. Oh, 진짜 크네요. It's like a horse. 와. 안녕. 몇 살이에요?
4살.
Oh, he's only 4 years old. 그럼 더 크지는 않아요?
네, 이게 다 큰 거예요.
Oh, he's only 4 years old. Oh.
No, it has like that thing that says don't touch.
Oh, it says don't touch. Yes, don't touch it.
이렇게 해줘요.
Oh.
Thank you. Thank you.
Look at this guy. Look at. This really does feel like the Swiss Alps or something. We got Saint Bernard. Oh, he likes it. Oh. Wow.
만두.
His name is Mandu. That's dumpling in Korean. Oh, he's so soft. He's so nice.
4 years old.
Ah.
4 years.
He probably weighs the same as you, Hasmik.
Yeah, right?
Wow, I didn't realize they're so big.
Where is it?
Oh,
우리 다 다른 나라에서.
oh.
Study in Korea?
Studying, working.
안녕. Oh, this is so amazing. It's the first time I've seen a Saint Bernard. Wow. 만두.
Okay, let's go.
Dumpling. Okay, we gotta go. Oh, 안녕. 감사합니다. Koreans are so friendly. They love dogs. This is chestnuts, and they're cooking it in a very traditional way over hot stones. Alright guys, so now we are going around the Dulle-gil. And this is sort of on the left-hand side of where we originally were. And a little about the Dulle-gil, it's based on the concept of the Dulle-gil, which is probably the most famous circular route in Korea, which circles around Jeju Island. There's 21, 22 courses. I actually went to Gyeonggido and then I was going around it. It's a really fantastic, beautiful route. People go out there and then they do it. It's almost like the pilgrims route or something like that in Spain. It's one of those things you trek through. But Gyeonggido decided to create the Dulle-gil, which is, it will circle around the Gyeonggido area. And here's a little fact about Gyeonggido and Seoul. Population of Seoul is, they say, over 10 million. And Gyeonggido is like the outskirts of Seoul. And the population is about 15 million. So roughly about half of all of Korea's population of a little over 50 million live in the metropolitan area of Seoul, because Gyeonggido is basically the metropolitan area that connects right on the outside of Seoul. So it's like if you're from LA, Southern California, the way I could explain it is like you have LA, but then you have Orange County right next to it. There isn't like a space. It's like if somebody who's never been to LA, Orange County wouldn't differentiate it. They would just say LA. So, you know, when people ask me where you're from, I don't say I'm from Orange County because people are like, what's Orange County? You just say I'm from LA. It's the same concept. In Korea, you might be from Gyeonggido because, you know, people around here differentiate, but it's pretty much Seoul, right? So that's why they say Seoul is about half the population of Korea. And I just also found out that Korea has the highest population density in the world. So it is the largest and most densely populated area. Oh, I take that back. The Tokyo metropolitan area, the area itself is bigger. So Korea was second, but I believe Seoul is going to overtake Tokyo too. But as far as population density, Korea is the highest. They say it's twice as high as New York. And they say it's like 4 times as high as Rome. I forgot whatever the second city was, but it's 4 times higher than the third city, the third most populous city, which would be the second after New York, after Korea. So you have an idea that Gyeonggido, Seoul is huge. There's oh my gosh, now I can't remember. How many districts were there in Gyeonggido? It was like 25, right?
I thought it was 28. 28 district, 3 counties.
28 districts, 3 counties. It's like, just think about it. It's like Orange County, but you have 3 Orange counties with 28 cities. So it'd be like in Orange County, you got Huntington Beach, you know, you got Garden Grove, Anaheim. Well, there's 28 of them in Gyeonggido alone. That's the outer part. And then Seoul has 18, right?
Oh, really?
Huh?
Seoul was 18 districts?
Or maybe 18, right? Or around that, I guess.
Yeah, somewhere around there. It's a lot. It's a lot. The Seoul metropolitan area has 18 districts. So huge. And I believe they say this Dulle-gil that circles around Gyeonggido has about 15 if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I have such bad memory. They're gonna test us on this. Wow. But this is just only one of the courses here, and there's like 20 something. The whole length of this Dulle-gil is 800 and some odd kilometers long. It's not something you can accomplish even in a week, guys. You're gonna have to dedicate like a month, 2 months, 3 months. This is what's so fantastic about living in Seoul. You have access to not only a very, popular cultural center, but just the subway right away, bus right away. You can experience nature, It's not like you have to get in your car, pay hundreds of dollars for gas, etc., etc., pay huge parking fees. You just have readily accessible hiking courses. So beautiful, right in your reach. So much that you may never be able to accomplish it in your lifetime. Wow, we're getting into a really scenic area, by the way. So honestly, realistically, you're just gonna have to pick and choose the most scenic ones, because there is no shortage of hiking courses in Korea, and even just in the Seoul or Gyeonggi area, there's more than you'll probably ever be able to do in your lifetime. So that's why I make these videos, to sort of like let you guys, if you don't have all the time in the world, just live vicariously through them, and then pick and choose the places you really want to go. Oh, by the way, this guy is Kungye. I actually know him because there is a historical drama called Wanggon. Like, all the old school Koreans know about it, like me. But he was like this warrior monk guy that got the common people to rebel against the establishment back in the Three Kingdoms era. And then he had like a subordinate under him named Wanggon. And I can't really remember the story well, but overall what happens is Wanggon eventually founds the Goryeo dynasty. And the way he does it is by overthrowing his old boss, Kungye. And they say this is the area that Kungye guy escaped out to and cried. Poor dude. And that they might be saying in a Korean way, like I hear this, it's like he raised the tiger, Wow, look at this. Wow. So this lake here isn't actually naturally formed. They say they created this like 100 years ago, or over 100 years ago, during the Japanese colonial era, when the Japanese were trying to have Korea produce all that rice to feed their armies. They created this reserve to water the farming areas. By the way, where we're going is we're going to the area where Kim Il-sung, the founder of North Korea, did his strategic planning. So this is a longer walk than I imagined. But all these facts, apparently there's more facts. Oh, look at this. They explain a lot of the geographical issues here. And these are, it looks like, poems. There's a lot going on here. A scenic location in Korea would not be complete without a photo zone. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below what you think. I'm really curious. I'm sort of a purist, so I don't like my nature contaminated. I just want to experience it for the nature. But then I'm sort of starting to appreciate them, you know, decking it out, sort of making it gentrified, because I gotta admit, it is pretty convenient to walk around, you know? And the photo zones, if it's done in a tasteful manner and not just overly done, why not? I mean, look how vast this place is, you know? It's not like you can't enjoy the nature. But having one little photo zone, that does add a little bit of spice to this area. Oh, this is so beautiful though. Look. Man, look at that. My foreigner influencer group coming over there across this reservoir. The mountain to the top. Korea mountains are very rocky, as you can see, and that's what makes it beautiful. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but the trees, they're growing on the rocks. I just really, really love Korean mountains. It's like Korean mountains represent the Korean people. Korea is a harsh landscape, but the Korean people flourish amongst it on the rocks. And it's beautiful. Yeah. In America, it's a bit different. It's just like vast, straight. You know, if you've ever driven across America, you know, and the interstate highways, you really don't even need to, you know, turn your wheels. You just go straight. It's just nothingness for miles, hundreds of miles. And I mean, I'm not gonna say that doesn't have a charm of its own. I mean, I do appreciate those sights too, but and I believe America is beautiful. America the great. I'm American, guys. But I also appreciate this too. The landscape here. All right. Oh, let's ask Senya. She is from another big country, Russia. What do you think is different with the landscape in Russia and Korea? Do you think it's different or very similar?
It's very similar, actually. Like, really.
Yeah. All across Russia, or just like where are you from?
Maybe not across all the country, but from like Siberia.
Oh, in Siberia?
Yeah, it's
really
not different. It's like kind of similar.
I thought Siberia is just like a barren, like icy land. No, it's not?
It's different.
Oh, I really want to go on the Siberian Railroad and experience it. Yeah, I will. Yeah. Are you from Kamchatka by any chance?
No. Kamchatka
Okay.
is like Vladivostok, and it's like another part.
Oh.
And Siberia is like in the center of
Oh.
Russia. So I'm from the center.
The center.
In the middle.
I see. Yeah, so apparently Russia is very similar. And yeah, I mentioned as well, this sorta does look like, I forgot the national park. If you're from the Northeast, when I was living in Connecticut, I went to one. It's like called Arcadia or Acacia National Park. That sort of has this vibe. But I don't know, maybe it just has a different feel to me. Because I know why. Because that one, it's by the ocean. This is more like a lake. Yeah. Korea's more rivers and lakes. And even though the mountains sort of look similar, the water below, the canvas it's painted on is a bit different. And the ambiance, the noise, you know, it's not like oceans, rough seas where the pilgrims landed, but it's like poetic rivers where Confucius scholars drink soju and wrote poems. So I think this is where Kim Il-sung. Let me confirm. Let me confirm with our. He's actually the head of. 여기가 김 Il-sung이 그거 한 데예요. 아, 여기가 어떻게 남한 같이 생긴 거예요? 어디가 서울이에요?
이 물 모양이 이 테두리가 남한 지도 같이 생겼다.
아, 그러니까 저쪽이 이렇게 목포.
그렇죠. 저 부산 뭐 이렇게.
아.
북한에서 봤을 때 한국 지도를 이렇게
거꾸로
거꾸로 놓고 봤을 때
네네네.
이 모양이 남한 모양 같이 생겨서.
I see.
그래서 이제 작전을 세운 거지.
네.
이렇게 침범해 갈 거냐, 이렇게 침범해 갈 거냐. 그래서.
So, you know, we all know the shape of Korea. Korea is really small, by the way. You really need North Korea to make it look unique, but because the South is almost like a little dot, but because Kim Il-sung is from the North, he's looking at South Korea from the top down, and if you see that white line, that would be the where it was dividing Korea. And when I look at it, it sort of resembles South Korea because it sort of bends around in there, and there's like a little. So that would be Mokpo over there, and that would be the southern coast, like the Namhae, and then that would be Busan, like this. So this is where he got the inspiration, and then he would go, okay, we will send 3 divisions down the east, and we will send an amphibious unit across and cut off their supply routes over there on the left. Yes, and roll the tanks down and blitzkrieg them down to Busan over there. Yes, that was his plan. Until yes, the great General.
You were really smart. So you stayed
General
with the guy
I think it was
to
MacArthur.
know the information.
Yeah, I asked him.
Yes.
Yes, and then I think it was General MacArthur. Yeah, and he did the famous Incheon landing. And then he's like, F you, North Korea. He went all the way up to China. And the Chinese got scared and they're like, no, you came too far. So they pushed them all the way back. But South Korea held on to a little bit more. And that's why we're in Pocheon, because this area was North Korea, but we're like, we're gonna bend that, you know, border right there a little bit up, and we'll keep Pocheon for attacking us. And here we are, decades later. His grandson in charge of the north, and a ton of people starving to death, and we're enjoying this beautiful territory with a stomach full of todak. Alright, time for pictures. I love it. He's the head of the Pocheon Tourism Authority. He's so fun. He's showing us a great time. Alright. Alright, that's what I get paid to do. Did my duty. Now let's enjoy the rest of our... What is the survival game, by the way?
Survival game is more the military game.
Woo!
So you have a gun and then you have a team.
This is a Squid Game.
No, it's not Squid Game.
No?
But yes, no Squid Game.
I feel like it's like paintball, but we do it with BB guns.
Small gun, right?
Yeah, with the white bullets, the plastic bullets. Oh, that should be fun. All right, let's go. Wow, we're literally doing a whole circle around this place. I thought we didn't have time. Yeah, I mean, look, Hasmik's shoes aren't like the best hiking shoes, but are you feeling comfortable?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody line up. Yeah, we'll take another photo.
Oh, this is really beautiful.
이쪽 봐야죠. 이쪽에서.
We got literally the head of the tourism authority here telling us the best photo shots. Yeah.
올 때마다
Wow. Oh, look at this. So nice. So, do you see that the reservoir, it overflows into this area? And it says danger right here, by the way, in Korean. And creates a little mini waterfall down there. Oh my gosh, I sort of feel this deck moving. But okay, another photo. Oh, whoa. Huh?
What are we doing here?
What are we doing here?
What is this?
We're being the face of foreigners in Korea. Tension up.
Wow, it's beautiful.
It is, right? Oh, this place sort of, I think it would look like Germany, right?
It looked like Swiss. I was like thinking the same. I was
Really?
like, oh my god, this looks like Swiss Germany, like the southern
Swiss
part of
Germany?
Like I mean southern Germany
Oh.
and North Switzerland kinda.
Oh, I always
Especially
imagine
this
Switzerland
place,
is
yeah.
like grassy mountains.
More, yeah, but like
Oh.
it's similar.
Oh, is
yeah,
it?
so I felt like home a little with
Oh.
these small houses there.
Oh.
It's a really nice place though.
Do you recommend other Germans to come here though?
Yeah, definitely.
Really?
Yeah.
But then they
yeah.
see it in the Swiss.
Yeah, but it's a Korean version. It's a different way. Maybe they can see some different.
I mean, I feel like something's different. Can you like pinpoint what it is?
I think the mountains are not that high like in Germany. They're like not that high.
Yeah, it's
They look
like,
like maybe in 2 hours I can just go up there, but like
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah,
Switzerland
yeah.
you need like more than hours to hike down.
yeah, that's true. This way? Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, one thing I really wanted to do was, I heard you can go to the Swiss Alps, like Mont Blanc, and then like take a tent and you trek through it for like 7-8 days.
Oh, I never did that too like actually. in
You
Germany.
haven't?
Because I'm from the northern part. Yeah, but like hiking actually it was my first time in Korea.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like a national like hobby in Korea to hike.
I love it. Yeah, we were talking actually
Yeah?
about the ajumas. Like
Yeah.
I was like yeah.
That in our age,
Oh.
it's quite hard to
Yeah.
뭐지?
Exercise?
Yeah, to exercise
Oh.
or like to hike like
Yeah.
ajumas
Yeah.
in Korea. But like as we are bordering, we'll be able to do hiking like in their age.
Like I'm not sure if I will
Yeah.
have the condition of them. Like basically when we're hiking we're like I can't.
No, I mean,
Why? They're like
I thought so too, because in the beginning, like I followed some ajumma ajushis, and I'm like, these guys are flying up these mountains like they're like light as a feather, and I'm like sweating, my head is pounding.
Okay,
and they don't even sweet at all.
They don't. They're like, well, what? Like you have no excuse. You're younger. So then I followed along a couple more times,
You
and
can't even
then
say stop please because
yeah. Yeah, it's like I can't make an excuse. I mean, if these guys like 20, 30 years older than me are going. So, but no, after you do it more, then I think you get better at it.
Yeah, like for me too, for example,
Yeah.
these things I'm going like hiking a lot.
Huh.
Like I try to go every weekend with friends.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but like we're going to Bukhansan and to Wongsan in the northern part of Seoul.
Oh.
And actually first time I had a so hard time, like basically after 2 hours I
Oh.
was reading and I was like no I'm not gonna like do it till the end to the peak.
Oh.
But like after 3-4 times I swear you're getting better. Yeah. That's
Oh, you know what? Bukhansan is one of the hardest ones. If you can do Bukhansan, then you
I
could.
did Bukhansan.
Then you could pretty much. I mean,
yeah.
the ultimate is the dinosaur ridge or whatever in Seoraksan.
Yeah, Seoraksan. Yeah.
I want to do that.
I want to too.
Yeah.
I've never been there. When you go there, tell me. I'm gonna come with you.
Okay,
Seoraksan, I'm
we
in.
will. We will.
Because like Bukhansan, Dubungsan, Seoraksan, around Seoul, I've been to all of them.
Yeah, I've been to all of those. I'm sort of now going around the edges, and then I did Jeollanam-do,
Oh, Jeollanam.
and it's so nice. The one by Gwangju is called Mo something something.
I've been to the one in Gwangju.
Really, the one with the rocks coming out, right?
There were like one. There's a bridge, the sky bridge there actually.
Oh,
like,
I didn't
containing-
see that one.
There was like I've been there last year to Gwangju just for meeting my friends,
Oh.
and then we basically because we like dim sum,
Oh.
we were like, oh yeah, guys, should we just go for like a dim sum date in the morning?
Oh.
Yeah, sure, why not? And then we went there actually.
I didn't know you were a Tungsan girl.
I'm a real dim sum girl.
Oh.
You can see like I'm in love with the nature. That's why.
All right, invite me. Well,
Yeah.
invite me. If I'm free, I'll go for sure. Yeah.
I'll come.
Yeah, and I'll definitely let you know. You know who's a big Tungsan guy?
Cool.
Kilosh. We gotta. Yeah, we got. he's not only a 등산, he wants to go camping.
Camping?
Yeah,
And
camping.
then go gambling.
What's glamping?
You know glamping?
I know glamping.
Camping.
I know.
Glamping, Korean style.
I know that. I got that much. 그 정도 센스는 있어, you know. Yeah. I get that. He's taking beautiful picture. Oh, look at these bubbles! Bubbles!
He basically got into it.
Boink! Oh! 와, 누나들 버블 보여줘. 우와! Oh, by the way, look at this, guys. This is the little waterfall that I showed you from the top. Wow. So nice. Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to clean the screen. Okay, so we're now doing the survival games.
But we're in a different team now.
They're so nice. They're providing us presents. This is makgeolli, rice wine from this region, and this is a lunchbox full of food and guide maps to Pocheon. Guys, definitely come out to here in Pocheon. The head of the tourism authority here is really nice. Wants everybody to come out here and enjoy. And he's very alcohol friendly too, so everybody who likes to drink, enjoy Pocheon makgeolli. What do you think? Was this the best trip or what?
Yes, because I think it's the first trip we are all together.
Yeah.
And also we had like ojingo game. It was very interactive.
Yep.
So it was really nice.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I hope next year, because the restrictions are gonna ease up, we'll be able to do more of these trips. This is what I was looking forward to. Yeah, and we'll have much more fun. This year was just like a practice run, so there's more to be coming. This wraps up our Gyeonggi trips. I honestly just showed the tip of the iceberg. There's gonna be so much more, guys. Stay tuned. I'll do my own travels around, and we'll do travels. Oh, are we going? Are we going to that sky thing?
No, just breathe.
Oh, never mind. Okay, we're gonna go.
I guess. Because,
yeah, these guys have come here so much, but this is my first time here. Oh my gosh.
really beautiful. They have like a glass.
Oh. It actually goes really well with our theme of ojingo game. Because at the end, you know how there's that glass bottom? If you want the ojingo game survival experience, come out here, do it over here. Right by this very famous bridge. Contact Korea Travel Easy to make the travel arrangements. Hopefully by next year, a couple of months, we're gonna have travel return back to normal. So I got a good explanation from it'd be a disservice to call him a tour guide because he's the head of the travel organization here. But very interesting. Not only is this a beautiful bridge, 38만 원이면 about $3.8 million. 그렇죠?
38억?
네, 38억.
38억이면 3.8 million or
Oh.
like 3 something million.
Yeah. So this bridge costs about I would say 5 million, yeah, with the exchange rate to build. Which actually it's I think it's affordable considering, like, in America, if they're trying to build this, it would cost probably at least $10 million. But check this out, guys. This Hantan River apparently was formed by a magma flow from up in North Korea, and it carved this out, and this Hantan River, this connects as it goes south to the Hangang River, the big one that's in Seoul, that goes all the way to Chungju, Danyang. If you see my motorcycle vlogs, oh my gosh, just look how majestic this is. Now, right now the water is at a very low level, but when this, oh my gosh, this is like scary if you're wearing Squid Games. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a little scary, but Guys, check this out. Oh, I think we came at the right season. I think if you wait a little bit more, it would be better. It's not quite red yet.
Yeah, like 2 weeks.
Yeah, and then of course we came a little too late in the day, but I mean, it's still beautiful. I'm just saying it would look probably better if we came a little earlier. But I also like how there's gradations on the riverbed. The colors are just really interesting down there because the water's so clear. You can see the gradation down there. And when it is high, like in the summer, it's monsoonal in Korea, so the water goes up. It will go all the way up to that level where the trees are. So there's a huge variation in the water levels and the ecology around here, and that is why it's been designated a UNESCO Geopark and been recognized as a natural area that is to be preserved in this world. Something that, wow, oh my gosh, this is so scary. I don't want to walk on it. Oh my gosh. By the way, I'm also wearing Squid Games because we just played the Squid Game survival game. I'm gonna make that another vlog. It's just so fun. Korea Travel Easy arranged that for us as well. Something I highly recommend you do. And I noticed that there's like a skywalk over there too. Wow, there's so much around here. I wish we just had more time. By the way, this is about a 15-kilometer course that you can walk along this geo trail. It's super scenic. It's like a miniature Grand Canyon, but with more vegetation and interesting contours. But it is, they did tell me that there is a bus that goes to the end of the start point over there, so you could walk and go back. So that would be a 30-kilometer hike. Because it's not like up the mountains or anything, I'm sure you could do this. But just be aware, it is quite a long hike if you go back and forth. And the reason you can't just take a bus over at the other end is there isn't a bus. So if you can, come with your own car, and hopefully somebody's already done this and willing to pick you up at the other end. Or you can contact Korea Travel Easy, tell them Live Travel Asia Ethan referred you and you want a tour. And then, oh my gosh, by the way, this bridge is a shaky bridge because it's suspended by these ropes. You could actually feel it bounce. Ah, so beautiful here. Oh, and then lastly, this bridge is completely free for you to walk on. Like, you can go to that lake. None of this has like an entrance fee, parking fee. You know, it's just how Koreans roll. They don't charge you for enjoying their natural resources. The government and the city, they are generous and allow you to enjoy it. 오. 여기에서 스탬프 하는 거예요?
스탬프 곳곳에 있는데요. 여기는
Ooh. Ah. By the way, they also gave us a little passport, and just like the Jeju Dulle-gil, you can go to the different courses of the Gyeonggi Dulle-gil and stamp your passport. And this is part of the Dulle-gil. This just isn't a stamping point, but again, check out the Dulle-gil. I don't know, you want to do the Dulle-gil?
Like little bits of it.
Little bits. I don't know if I could do 800 kilometers. It's just, I'm trying to do the math. Let's say we do 20 a day. 100 times 5 times 8 would be 40. It would take 40 days if we did 20 kilometers a day.
Yeah.
That's gonna take, like, with somebody who's working full time like you, that's gonna take you at least 2-3 years if you try to do it every, day off.
And it's not all gonna be.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah. Who knows? I'm not gonna say. I haven't been. I can't say, but
It can't all be nature like this.
I'm sure it's all nature. There's some nature, and even if it isn't nature, it's beautiful. But there's definitely, if the rest of the course is like this, I would do 800 kilometers. But check it out, guys. The only way you're gonna find out is if you did it. 저기 경기 둘레길 그 패스포트 있잖아요. 그거 이렇게 가지려면은 그거는 사야 돼요. 올레 것 같이.
아니.
So actually, they say this passport for the Dulle-gil, it's completely free as long as you apply for it. And that's really generous because the one in Jeju-do, I think you have to pay like $20. I saw it, it's really high quality. It's like a legit passport quality thing that you can keep with you if you're in Korea and, you know, travel around here. Whoa! Tilosh!
안 돼. 가위바위보 둘 다. Put on the floor.
She's competitive too. Tilosh has better match.
가위바위보. Okay.
Alright. Oh!
Strike him.
Oh! Whoa! There you go. She makes all the Brazilians of the world proud. As you can see, there are just so many other bridges over this river. So many routes. Highly recommend that you come here. There's actually several courses. I would have to actually do more research myself, but I was just clarified this Hantang River course is the one I mentioned. It's like 15 kilometers back and forth. But there is the Gyeonggi-do course as well that bisects it. So they recommended the optimal way to maybe plan your trip is, unless you have you want to do the Gyeonggi-do course because you're here, and if you're already here in Korea, you'll have an idea of how to get around. But if you're here just to experience the highlights, which I would recommend somebody who's coming here for like a week or two, then to just make sure you confirm like the highlights, like this right here, this bridge, and then the lake that we saw. And those are actually both located on the Gyeonggi-do. This one is course 14, and then Gyeonggi, the lake is actually on course 14, if I'm not mistaken, or vice versa. It's 14 and 15. So when you hit those main points, that's where the buses and the public transportation goes that will allow you to travel there. Or again, of course, you could contact the travel agency here and then ask them to arrange something that is a lot simpler for you. Wrapping up the day with some spicy fish cakes and rice cakes. Leah, tell me, what do you think of spicy tteokbokki in the cold evening? It's the best. So the story behind this tteokbokki here is that the ajumma gave it to us for free. So Jasmine right there bought like a little portion, and then she's like, here, you could have 3 times the portion so you can share with everybody. It's really lovely. People here are just so generous, especially to foreigners. They want you guys to come out here and travel. So come out here feeling safe and happy. I guarantee you'll have a good experience. By the way, guys, do you see that thing that's lit up in the distance? That is a skywalk. For sure. I just confirmed it. Definitely come here as early as possible and travel there. 와우, 멋있네요. 저기는 입장료가 얼마예요?
없어요.
오, and it's completely free. 오, 감사합니다.
한탄강
You really
ticket no.
First, we must eat because we have a long day of walking and survival ahead. Oh. Thou shalt never filleth thy own bowl.
We are all like the formalities and then they're all like just eating. Just watching you. 고맙다. 선배님 감사합니다.
맛있게 먹고 건강하고 열심히 해.
Hello, Vito's followers. So this is the root of the mountains, and they said that it's really good for the body, for the immune system. How to say in English? Yeah, right?
Immune system, yes.
Yeah. And it tastes good actually. I thought it was going to be too spicy because like it's red.
Please upload mine as I eat.
I have to speak more.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say it in Spanish?
Mm-hmm.
But I want to eat it. But okay, so look, this looks like a pizza, but it's like a pancake, a Korean pancake. This also has like some seafood. I can see some shrimp, and it just fell in my soup as I was talking.
I like this because usually I'm the one who has to talk and I can't enjoy this delicious food.
Okay, so I can talk more. So Sejong is really famous here in Korea, but also a lot of ajushis, like old people, they eat with makgeolli. And they say that makgeolli in Sejong is good when it's raining. I actually don't know why. Oh no, I actually know why. Because when it rains, it kind of makes the noise of the pancakes frying, right? So pancake, yeah. So pancake and makgeolli go like really well here in Korea.
And rain. I always thought it's just you got nothing else to do in the rain but drink. So that's why it goes well.
And
Alright guys, but overall, everything here is good. I'm not kidding you. It's all just healthy roots and mountain herbs that they've harvested from these mountains. Koreans have so much knowledge on what's edible, what's good for you. This all stems from Eastern medicine. I literally have ajumas that go to like American national parks and they'll be noticing there's stuff that you can eat. And there's like, I remember they were harvesting and they were telling them, you can't do that in America. That's against the law. You gotta leave the nature naturally.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but in America, people don't know like certain herbs and stuff are edible, but all Koreans know this. Like the ajuma. So then we're driving by and they're like, you gotta stop. There's like, I'm looking at it, it's grass, and they're harvesting this. And they're like, this is good for your immune system. This will keep you warm in the winter. This is also good. It's fermented.
But then at the same time, it's much more like delicious, this kind of food. There's more like franchise and everything. There's much more natural.
Yeah. And this is one of the reasons I really like being in Korea. All this knowledge about food. There's so much variety. And ways to cook it too. It's not just deep fried.
Yeah. Even the rice is delicious.
Alright, so Leah is gonna try these herbs. I thought they were like two pairs, but they're actually all different. Senya thinks it's different. By the way, check her out. I'm gonna link her.
I don't think so. It is?
It is?
Try this one and this one. It's different. But I think like this one is the same as this one, and this one is the same as this one.
Because Senya has the same, she has a more sensitive palate.
It's different.
This is definitely different. I see red stuff in there. Yeah, and look, the roots on this is much thicker. It's definitely different.
It's different.
Yeah, so they all sort of look the same because it's fermented and they're greens, but they're different.
I think like the different thing is more like this.
This one does look the same as this. Maybe half of it is different. I don't know, but
No, but this is a little bit different than this one.
this is definitely different than this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Delicious.
I want the confused look, like, oh, is it different? Ksenia is sure. She's sure it's different. Oh, that one's bitter. Ooh, that's a rich taste. Okay, let's see. This one looked very similar to that one. Hold on, I should have washed my mouth before I take on the second one. Eat a lot more. this one and this one seem the most similar. And even the taste is sort of similar, but this one was definitely more bitter. Yeah, so I do think they are different.
I'm getting half stuff here.